Welcome to Why Real with Ryan Sautman. If you are interested in joining Real or would like to get to know some agents, managing brokers, or any key players within Real, this podcast is for you. I am Ryan Sautman, and if you have any questions about Real, feel free to reach out to me or Destiny here today, who's our guest, about Real. You can reach out to me on my cell phone, which is 618-670-6418. Or on any of the socials here, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, things of that nature. So today, we got an awesome guest here. She is just an awesome person. I'd like to welcome our guest, Destinie Marshall, who runs a powerful team out of
Sioux Falls. It's after a Native American tribe. So the
Sioux Falls. Okay.
Yep.
That's great. Mm-hmm. So that is she's out of South Dakota there. Destinie, I know you're doing good. How are you doing today?
We are doing great. I just actually got done with a team breakfast. So just lots of energy and just getting to sit around with everybody. And just talk about how this year's going with the team.
I love it. So I've had the pleasure of getting to know Destinie the past few months, and she's just an awesome person, like I said. She's extremely kind, a blast to be around, and just works unbelievably hard for her clients and her team. So Destinie, tell us a little bit about your real estate journey up to this point.
Oh gosh. It's kind of crazy. So it's been officially 10 years. I took my test 10 years ago, like last Friday. I originally got started as an intern, and I always joke. So I was an intern. I did a real estate internship in Berlin, Germany. And I got my license when I was in college. And just a really
German?
cool, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. So I speak a little German. After
That's
a few
cool.
drinks, I speak better German. But when I got back from that internship, I finished school. So I was licensed for a while, and I was on a team. And the team was built very differently, not like a normal team. And I actually got fired after 5 months of being full-time in real estate. And I thought I was completely done. I didn't know what I was doing. I was 22 years old and had no direction. And so after leaving that team wasn't as invested in the brokerage we were at the time. And the owners of the brokerage took me under their wing and helped be like, no, you can do this. And I, like I said, was fired in May. I sold 12 units, ended up in that 6 months after I was fired. That next year, I sold 34, and then I sold 56 at 24 years old. I was then offered a team leader position to actually run a Keller Williams office in Indianapolis. So I moved 10 hours from home. I was the youngest team leader in all of KW at the time. And I was fired after 34 days in the office. I didn't even know everybody's name. We'll just say the office doesn't exist anymore. But it was another dagger.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I actually, in the midst of my success in Sioux Falls, I started a team, not the right way. And I still at least had my team in Sioux Falls. So they were doing okay. I was 24. I had no idea what I was doing. And so after buying 2 houses in Indianapolis, overnight, I just drove home. I was like, this is not meant.
No kidding.
Not meant to be. 34 days. I was also just not in a great relationship at the time, and I left him there. So he moved to Indianapolis for me, and I just was like, this isn't working. I packed my car up and my dog and drove home. And never looked back, because that was in 2019, and COVID hit 4 months later.
Wow.
So South Dakota, I'm very, very grateful. I lived in South Dakota during COVID and not Indianapolis. And it took me, 2 months just to jump right back into it.
Wow.
So it was wonderful.
That's awesome.
And then in 2022, I joined Place. So it's just kind of been the trajectory of building the team and our business we joined Place in 2022.
Awesome.
And
was
now
that
I'm
with
here.
was that with Real?
No, I
Okay.
was with KW at the time. We made the transition to Real in December of 23, right? Like kind of over that New Year mark.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we've been with Real for 2 years.
Nice.
Gosh.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been with Real. The maths. Yes, because I was like, what year is it today? Yeah, so we had all of 2024 and all of 2025 with Real.
Nice. Nice. And you've been with, you said, how long were you said you were with Place now?
I've been with Place since 2022. So we were with our previous brokerage for a year and a half with our previous brokerage.
Gotcha. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. So, and now, so what does the team look like today?
So the team, we're small but mighty.
Yeah.
I have gone through a lot of it's always that revolving door. I like every team can say that they don't, but that's just kind of like the in the game. And so for many years I had not like brand new agents that we were trying to get to the next level. Last year I brought on 2 agents who had been in the business for 5 years. And that was a complete game changer for like our trajectory and just the outlook on real estate, because we're surrounding ourselves with people who are doing the things that we want to do. And so they're doing the activities, they have the passion. And so instead of helping somebody like, which I love, like would love to help somebody like write a contract, we're having the more strategic conversations of how do we get from selling 3 million a year, how do we sell 10 million? And how do we get to 20 million? Like, how do we keep growing ourselves instead of just focusing on those, how to do an open house?
Interesting. So you have what's the total production? I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
that you
Sorry.
guys are. No, you're good.
So last year with 3 full-time agents, we sold 76 units.
Okay.
It's crazy because the year before we had 7 agents and sold 74 units. So just kind of really crazy how things have shifted.
Yeah.
And also just the amount of value that we can provide to our agents doing that. So
Yeah. Gotcha. That's awesome. So I guess, let's see here. So that many units. What's the total? I guess what's the total volume?
volume?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. I
Just
think
roughly fine.
it's about 20 million.
About
20 to
20
25 million.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
we hit 25 last year.
And and the reason why I ask is because if there's someone that is looking at the exact same scenario as you, like your information is going to be awesome for them to, and just as far as making the switch to Real or whatever it might be there.
Yeah, so I know our average sale price is around 330
Yeah.
times. We'll just it's about 25 million. I don't
Gotcha.
know why. It's crazy. That's like the one number I don't know.
You just care about your people,
yeah.
your clients more,
Yeah.
and your team more than the numbers. So.
Yeah, I did. It's been kind of crazy. We did just calculate how much money. So we're very seasonal here in South Dakota as well. So like November through like mid-February tends to be kind of slow. And so but I also work with a lot of investors. So like out-of-state investors will buy here too. And so I do okay in the winter time, but we actually calculated how much money we were able to save our clients just in the month of February. And we have saved our clients about $150,000, like adding everybody's like what they've been able to get it under list price.
Nice.
So it's been kind of cool. And
That's
our
great.
sellers have not accepted much under list at all. So it's been kind of cool what we've been able to save our clients.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. So before you made the switch, you've been with Place. Before you made the switch to Real, what kind of bottlenecks was there any kind of bottlenecks or anything you were facing that made you want to make the switch to Real or?
Yes. So be very careful with how I say things. We were not fitting in culture-wise. So like I care about culture a lot, and I really want people to work together. And we weren't working as a partnership with where we were previously. Instead of working as a partnership, which what I believe a brokerage should be. It should be a partnership and should be a resource for the agents to grow and teams to grow under that partnership, rather than the brokerage being the say-all. And so the previous office I was in was not listening to their agents. And just in my opinion, I was there for 8 to 9 years. I have a matching tattoo with other agents. I loved it. And
Wow.
but when we can't grow, and with place, I just felt there had to be another option, because in other areas, place works really well with that pipeline, but here it just didn't work for us, and I was all in for place.
Gotcha. So place was, you are obsessed with place, and so if there's any agents out there that love place,
please talk to me. It's been a game changer for our team and our business.
Yeah, that's awesome. But you're saying that the model with the previous brokerage just in place didn't necessarily coincide very well together compared to what
at our
Real
location
opened up at your specific. Okay,
at
gotcha.
our specific location, it's built very, very, very differently than other locations. So
Gotcha.
it was just that specific location.
I see.
And so I needed to look for other options, and there was a brokerage here that didn't have a very good name, and so I wasn't going there.
Yeah.
And I had heard about Real. I didn't really know anybody with Real before making this switch. I just knew, which is kind of crazy because I feel like it wasn't that long ago, but we've grown so much. And I was the first of my friend group to make the move over, because it was scary. We had a really great organization that we were a part of, and we loved it. But it just wasn't working for me anymore. And I also look at the fact of people who are nervous about leaving brokerages because you feel like you're going to lose your friends, then they're not your friends.
It's 100%. Whenever I made the decision, the reason why I was still with my brokerage for as long as I was is I loved a lot of people in that brokerage, and they were the main reason that I mean, even managing the owners, I loved them all, and they were the main reason why I still was there for over a year, making the decision to move. Took me that long because of them.
Yeah. And the thing is what's sad is some brokerages will slam the door in your face, like the one I came from, and they say, I hope you fail. But the ones that keep the door open, it makes it's so much healthier. Yeah. And also you are still going to do transactions with those agents. And in my opinion, while I love Real and it's a great opportunity for us and my team, I've had agents leave my team and they would not work at Real. They need either a team atmosphere or they need that brick and mortar office that kind of does everything for them. Yeah. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted to do it all myself. And so that's why Real's kind of perfect. It gives us more power as a team owner and as an agent to do what we want to do and run our business with how we want to run our business. Yeah. Where those other places, you run it their way and it works for some people, but you're stuck in a box.
Right. Do you have any specific examples that you could, as far as how Real gives us more power to be able to do what we want?
Yeah, for example, when I bring agents onto my team, we have a full onboarding platform. So if a brand new agent comes on, we take them from day 0 to day 90. They have training every week. So it's coaching and training every week. At the previous place, we were forced to have them in coaching with the brokerage. Yeah. And so they were paying the brokerage and then they were paying the team, but they weren't taking advantage of that coaching because we had overloaded them with ours.
Yeah.
And so my agents were making less money.
And sometimes
I took
that coaching isn't adequate.
It wasn't. He had never sold a house before. And when it was just like, I actually took on half of that cost with the brokerage, so it didn't hurt the agents as much. And it felt like we had to do everything their way. And for example, my agents would go into the office and be like, what was it? So one agent asked to do scripting with other agents, and the front desk person was like, you have a team, go do it with your team. And we offer it and it's fun, but like, we also encourage them to go work with other agents, and like, if you're going to be like working together. So they really they pushed us out, honestly. And so I was looking for something that I can choose my own splits. I can also not feel like the brokerage was telling my agents, this is what happened a lot. We run our business this way, and then they would tell them to do something completely different. And I'm like, we created their goals, and I'm really big, I love 1-3-5s. We would do all that with them, and then they would give them that shiny object to go run with. Whereas as being with Real, it's been really great. Like, I love our broker. I talk to her, and she kind of just gets how we do things. And so it's less like talking my agents, not like, they would try to talk agents not to be on my team. It was, so Real has just been, like I said, it's way more the location I was at. And Real has just been way more team friendly.
That is a very, very common theme that I get. One that you're not manipulated on how you pay what the pay structure is for the splits as a team lead, what you can pay your team. And so two, I've been talking to mega teams that they have agents that are producing just a stupid amount of production, and they have in a traditional model, it is always expected, like, oh yeah, as a team, we're going to groom and teach these agents how to fish, and then at some point they're going to go and jump ship. That's like the traditional model, but Real is stopping that, and it is the agents that are on teams are realizing it is still more profitable to be on the team than what it is for them to go out and go do their own thing and start their own team and leave you as the agent lead.
It's so crazy because, like I brought up earlier when we were talking, the MREA, like the average profitability of an agent is only between 40 and 45%. So if I'm able to offer you more than 40 to 45% with no liability, you have no monthly fees, no liability, isn't that a no-brainer? And I can take on all that liability for you, and instead of you being on my team, this is a little bit different. We partner, and so you're not building my business. That's like something I'm passionate about. We're building the business together, and you can have your own identity. That's one really cool thing about Real is you can kind of choose whatever identity you want to have. Even with the private label program, like you get to keep 100% of your identity. But with all the resources, the networking, and the back end of Real.
So do you now, as far as, and you're 100% right. I love that aspect on the flexibility of you brand yourself, you create, you are who you are, and they're not going to manipulate or tell you how to run things, basically. Do you have for your team? I know some teams they might not want, or I guess what am I trying to say here? The agents aren't within the team. You obviously, as a team leader, you have a $12,000 cap. And then you have hit an elite status.
Yep, I hit elite both times.
So elite status, do you want to explain what elite status is
Yeah.
if someone's watching and hasn't heard it before?
Yeah, elite status, honestly, it's kind of a game changer in real estate because I talk to other agents and they're like, "Ugh," like agents who own their own brokerages. They're like, oh, it's free. I'm just going to own my own brokerage. I'm like, well, technically with our production, it's free for me too. Like,
Right.
I don't pay anything for my brokerage after I hit elite. And so I hit my cap at 12,000 and then you do 21 deals with the transaction fee to pay an additional, is it 6,000?
Yep.
And then after that you hit elite. And then your transaction the transaction fee then goes down to 185.
Yeah.
And so then you
Yep.
save even more money.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you get all that back.
Yeah, you get the stock. Yeah.
You get the stock back.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So it's almost like you're instead of it being an expense, if you're an elite agent, instead of you paying your cap and all that stuff and you're looking at that as an expense, you got to rechange your mind to be looking at it as you're building your retirement.
Yeah.
Because that's literally what you are. You're getting stock
and
back.
you're getting more money in stock back. The only thing than your cap anyway. And I was like, and everybody pays some sort of transaction fee.
Yeah.
Whether it's for accounting or anything like that. So, we were talking to one of my agents. Hopefully next year, he'll move from a $4,000 cap to the 12, so he can hopefully hit elite as well.
That was the questions I was going to be asking you. So, let's just say that again. You have an agent on your team that has a $4,000 cap.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And what I love is we also get the option to either pay half their transaction fee to we get to really make it however we want. And then Real's the one who does all the payouts. But he's on a $4,000 cap, so he doesn't get necessarily all the benefits of being able to hit elite with a stock unless he wants to increase his cap to 12,000. And so I've done that math, kind of figuring out, hey, this is how many transactions that you would have to do to be able to hit this. So I think we're going to probably look at that next year.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And so he has that is the right mindset of willingly saying, because I don't think people can fully grasp, why would anybody want to go from a $4,000 cap to a $12,000 cap? And, he has the right mindset of this is why. This is what I get by doing a $12,000 cap. And, I'm building for my future. Yes, I'm putting in more money today, but I'm building for my future.
It's not much more money, realistically.
No.
So it makes a lot of sense. For him to go that route.
Yeah. And then to that note, with the $4,000 cap, correct me if I'm wrong, but your guys's, once everybody starts capping, or once somebody in the team starts capping, and you guys start paying the post transaction fees that are what is it,
185?
What's it after as soon as we cap?
285.
285. So we all start paying, but that is a collaborative effort, the 285 to get to that elite status. So
to help. Yeah.
Right. And then once the whole team hits 21 transactions, then everybody's transaction fees go down again. So that person that caps at 4,000, I mean, their expenses are so minimal, and it helps new agents, bring on new agents versus that with the team, you have place, you have a broker. If it was prior to Real, you might have had your, team lead splits, place splits, brokerage splits, franchise splits, and that a new agent that is ambitious and hungry has a $6,000 check that they're going to go and take to get deposited, and then they're only going to get 1,500 of it. It's a knife in the heart whenever as a starting out, and you immediately think that's got to change. Real changes that, and it puts so much more money in that new agent's pocket that is ambitious and it wants to grow.
What I also love about it too is so cheesy, but especially for those newer agents on a team, there's no monthly fee.
Right.
The only time you would pay that fee that would be similar to other brokerages is when you produce.
Yeah.
And so it adds more money into our pocket to be able to not hinder us from making that growth.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I've loved is not having my agents have to pay a monthly fee for anything like that. So it's
super cool.
Been a big perk.
Super cool. Okay, so now that you've been in Real for a couple years, is there anything that like before when you were on the outside and switching, it was worth making the switch then, but now that you've been in Real for a little bit, you're like, is there anything that you're like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even realize that this Real was this good. I couldn't tell whenever I was on the outside.
Yeah, so kind of like a little bit of two things pop into my mind right there. Is the first thing is we kind of already talked about it is the stock. Just because that didn't exist, and it really doesn't exist. There's only maybe one or two other brokerages that have it, but by far the elite stock is just game changer. And so like every time I log in, I'm like, okay, great. This is going to vest at the end of the year. My first elite will vest at the end of the year. That's $16,000. Or if I have a rainy day and I need to get it out, I can.
Yeah.
And so there's just so much opportunity with that stock. And like our agents who are on the $4,000 cap, they get the little stock grants too when they cap. And then when it also helps your agents want to bring other agents to the team because the levels of opportunity. So if an agent brings somebody to my team because of Place as well, they get revenue share with Place. They actually get revenue share with Real.
Nice.
And then they also get the capping grant as well. The network grant or whatever it's called.
Sign on, kind of like a sign-on bonus for whatever someone comes on. Yeah. So if somebody sells $100,000 in GCI, and like so, say Nicholas brings on an agent and they do $100,000 in GCI, I cut them a check for $1,000 at the end of the year, and then they also get those Real bonuses, and they get a Real bonus of another $2,000, and so just or $1,000. It would be just some additional benefits that I can just offer the team, which is great. And that's not to mention someone being in his line. If he brought somebody over that was directly in his line, at that point, like if we bring over a capping agent and he's on a $4,000 split, a capping agent for us, if we bring someone into Real, into our network, and the capping agent's $4,000 for us every single year. So he's now net zero just on that alone, and now making money. Now at that point it is now it's a net positive to be with Real, which it probably already was anyways. But
yeah, it already is.
Yeah.
One thing that I actually kind of going off that too. So I was a part of Profit Share for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I still get a little bit of profit share here and there. But in 1 year being with Real, I've made more in profit share than I made in 10 years. Or sorry, 1 year with Real in revenue share than made in 10 years in profit share.
Yeah.
And one thing you'll find about me is I'm not a big person who's like always like talking about Real, trying to get people to come to Real. It's not my personality. But like even me, just having conversations and being passionate about what's been really great for me has gotten me more revenue share. And what I love about it is you actually know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
It's not minus somebody's bonus that they got last month to pay out. So it's been very good.
And that's the difference between profit share and rev share. Profit share, it's everything, whatever the brokerage, the local brokerage grosses minus their expenses, whatever the profits left, you get a portion of it. Whereas this is rev share, whatever comes in, we get something right off the top. Yeah. So, and to your point, I know you got something else you want to say too, but me and you are very, very similar. And if we don't believe in a product or something, we can't sell it. Like I can't talk about something that I don't believe in. And I have to, and I know you are exactly the same. So my point has always been, like, whenever I was contemplating moving to brokerages, I had to go to a place that I 100% believed in, and something that I could at least see myself being there forever. Now, whether, of course, we never know what the future holds, but I at least wanted to envision myself being there for the rest of my life. And brokerage or Real was the first time that I was like, okay, this can be it. And why not? If we're excited about something, why not? And if we have you as an agent, we all as agents, if we've been in the industry for any amount of time, we're going to have people asking us about our brokerage, whether it's another realtor or someone looking to get their license. There's nothing wrong with helping people, just like we do as real estate agents selling houses. Like, we make money by helping people. Why can we not make money on this end of things for helping people?
Yeah. And that kind of actually that's really a really good pivot into my second point is, so for many years, I don't know if you have ever attended a Jeff Glover event. And I started going to his events, in 2020, I believe.
Yeah.
I went to an event, or 2021. And after experiencing that, and then also experiencing moving to Real, and like I said earlier, like, if they're not your friends anymore, they were never your friends. What I have found is every person has a place where they belong. There is a place for every brokerage, right? Every community is built different. But where I find the best value for me and the way I want to run my team is Real fits that mold for me. And going to Jeff's events really opened my eyes even more to know that, like, you're not stuck in this box. You only can drink the red Kool-Aid, and you only can talk to other people who drink the red Kool-Aid. And you only can refer to other agents who drink red Kool-Aid. Whereas for me, like, I want to refer to agents who are competent and know what they're doing. And they could be drinking purple Kool-Aid, green Kool-Aid. Like, I don't care. Obviously, if they're with Real, that is a massive benefit because it's already a network. I know people who know them. That type of thing. And also with Place, I have that network too, which is amazing. I guess that'd be kind of weird because it'd be black Kool-Aid, but I think it really opened my eyes and allowed me to feel comfortable making that switch, because there's all these conferences now and all these events and organizations that you can go, and it doesn't matter where you're at.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you can make the best decision for you and your business. So if you are kind of like on that ledge of like, I think I need to make a change, it's really not much. You're not going to feel as much of a difference as you think you are, as long as you've built those strong relationships that you think you have. And you continue those relationships.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yep. I love it. Okay, so as we wrap up, I think you probably could have a lot of really good tips on this one here. Sorry, I talk a lot. No, you're good.
I am a real estate agent, so.
Hey, I mean, me and you can go on forever.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it was a solo agent, now you mentioned earlier that you had a tough time getting the right team, getting the right people on the bus in the beginning. And now you are really, really happy with where you're at. If someone's a solo agent and a high producing solo agent, what would you recommend, one or two tips to take them from solo high producing agent to starting to build a team for the first time? That's a small, powerful team.
Yeah. First of all, it would be getting your systems in place, and not putting the carriage before the horse. I think that's a saying. Because what I see, and I did it wrong. You're going to see so many other agents who did it wrong. And what do? They bring on an agent before they bring on an assistant or transaction coordinator or something of that nature.
Even though we've read 50 times not to do that.
Oh yeah, we all were told not to do it, but we all think we're smarter than the people before us.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And so so many people do this, and that would be the one thing even just a VA, to be able, because otherwise, if you do that, you'd never get a day off because you're that person. And so I would say creating your systems, because adding somebody to your team just for your ego is not a team. It's like you're not helping them. Like, unless you have so much business, or your systems bring in business for them, or you're offering them value, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps. So like that,
No, it does.
having the systems in place before, and also I run into this a lot too. Put your ego behind you a little bit and go interview with a high producing team in your area that actually offers value. Because, for example, like, so I'm going to bring it up again, but if there's a place team, what is so amazing about place is if your production is at X amount, you can then be almost like next to each other for building your team. And place will then help you incubate. There we go. Oh my gosh. That's a different story. You think I should know. Chickens, incubating.
Do you guys have chickens? Do you have chickens?
No, but I live in South Dakota, so chickens are everywhere. But, gosh. You can incubate with that team, and once somebody hits 100 units with their team, so you can have, it's team within a team. Okay. Once you hit 100 units, you can actually branch off and be your own. Or you can be your own team within that team and get all their benefits. It is like, so that's what I say, put your ego behind you. There's so much opportunity. I have a very good friend. She is with a team in Dallas, and she will do $500,000 GCI by herself. We ran the numbers. It made more sense for her to stay a team within a team than it made sense for her to go on her own and build her own team. She makes more money.
Impressive.
So sorry. Okay, that's my.
That's within place.
Yes.
Is that also within real?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The numbers are great. Gotta love it.
Yeah. So it helps so much. No, go ahead.
And something we talked about too is, I guess, a piggyback. We were even talking about our ego, putting our egos in check whenever we're starting a team. Before we hit record here, it really, if you are in the process of starting a team or wanting to start a team, I would really, really spend the time in thinking about why you are wanting to start the team. Is it an ego thing? Is it because you want to see your name high up on that list in the local with your local realtors? Because that fades, like that doesn't become an issue. Maybe if you're on a power trip and just want to keep on doing that and showing that, then that's fine if that's your goal. But taking care of your agents and not being an ego thing and almost want to have an open hand with them instead of just take. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, instead of building a team of being like, oh, what are my agents going to provide me?
Exactly.
What value can I provide my agents so they can achieve their dreams?
Yeah. I love it. Well, Destiny, if someone wanted to reach out to you either about place or about real, how can they get you connected?
I am definitely a millennial, so Facebook is by far the easiest. So they can find me, Destinie Marshall, on Facebook, or I do have Instagram, and it is Destinie Diaries at Instagram. Feel free to reach out. If you can't tell, I have so much energy right now because I love talking teams, how people can build teams, and how they can avoid making the same mistakes I did. Like, I was fired twice. And also just knowing that you can build yourself out of whatever hole that you got in. Like, it happens all the time.
If there's someone you need to talk to about getting over adversity, Destiny's at. Fired twice, and she's at the level she's at right now. I love it.
Yeah.
You didn't give up. You just kept pushing.
No, I care about people, and sometimes I care a little too much, but that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So, all right. Well, I'd like to thank today's podcast guest, Destinie Marshall, here for joining me on Why Real with Ryan Sautman. So I'm a real estate agent and within Real broker based out of the St. Louis area. If you are interested in joining Real or have questions, feel free to reach out to Destinie here or me via direct message on Facebook. For the both of us is probably the best way to get hold of us. Instagram, TikTok, or you can call or text me at 618-670-6418. And be sure to follow the pod for more interviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. That's all I got. Destinie, you have a great day. Everybody else, you guys have a great day as well.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a wonderful day.
You too.